Every day, thousands of Comcast engineers and technologists, like Kunle, put people at the heart of everything they create.
In the average household, there are dozens of connected devices. Here in the Comcast family, we're building an integrated in-home Wi-Fi solution for millions of families like my own. It brings people together in meaningful ways.
Kunle and his team are building a Wi-Fi experience that connects 1 billion devices every year. Learn more about how Comcast is redefining the future of connectivity at comcastcorporation.com/Wi-Fi.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Wednesday, March 19th, 2025. Today we have a surprising economic state ranking, some news from the legislative session, and what is so hard about Southern geography. My name's Ike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama. We know one of the economic benefits Alabama offers is a relatively low cost of living. So one would think that most things would cost at least a little less than it does in states where people make more money and have to spend more on essentials. But one study shows that Alabama is surprisingly an expensive place to start a business, reports AL.com's William Thornton. As a matter of fact, according to Simplify LLC, it's more expensive to start a business in only 5 other states than it is in Alabama. Simplify LLC supplies information to small businesses. Now, it took a long look at basic business costs, such as labor, space, and utilities, as well as business environment and taxes. Contributing to the expense of going into business in Alabama is a high $200 LLC filing fee and a relatively high corporate income tax of 6.5%. And we're number 11 in the nation for the rental cost of commercial space. Of course, that's all on top of the actual cost of doing business, and it can pose entry barriers for cash-strapped folks looking to open up shop. As we all know, Alabama has also had difficulty with low labor force participation rates and was at 57.6% for this study. We also have a low rate of lending through the Small Business Administration. Now, the most expensive state in which to open a business was California, no surprise there, followed by New York and Hawaii, and then another surprise, Tennessee at number 4. Hey, let's do a lightning round of news from Goat Hill. All right, first, the state's Glock switch ban passed the Senate and is on its way to Governor Kay Ivey's desk. The House had already passed the bill with an amendment that would put it into law immediately. The House passed a bill that would increase a state income tax exemption on money withdrawn from IRAs and 401ks from $6,000 to $12,000. It now moves to the Senate. Also, Governor Ivey signed into law a measure to give her office the power to appoint the commissioner of the Alabama Department of Veteran Affairs. And finally, the House unanimously passed a bill to reduce the state sales tax on food from 3% to 2%. That now goes to the Senate. Well, the Alabama State men's basketball team will get its shot against Auburn in the men's NCAA tournament, reports AL.com's Andrew Hammond. A long pass from Micah Simpson to Amar Knox at the far end of the court led to a layup with 1 second left and a 70-68 win over St. Francis in a first 4 game from the NCAA tournament's South Regional. It's Alabama State's first win ever in the tournament and sends the 16th seed Hornets up against top seed Auburn at 1:50 p.m. Thursday. Alabama State trailed by as many as 9 points during the first half on Tuesday. One more item that's slightly outside Alabama but gives me a chance to show off a chip that many of us in the South have on our shoulders when national news is forced to look in our direction. I'm not going to go full geography zealot on y'all, but after NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams returned to planet Earth from their unexpected extended stay aboard the space station, news reports sounded off that the astronauts had splashed down off the coast of Tallahassee. So at first I thought maybe the splashdown happened in Lake Jackson, where red soft plastic worms might get you a bass to strike. Or maybe their SpaceX capsule was bobbing around in the water hazard along the right side of the number 3 fairway at Jake Gaither, because, as actual coastal residents of St. Marks and St. George Island will tell us, more than 20 miles separates Tallahassee from the Gulf of Mexico. Coast of Tallahassee. Maybe I'm being picky, but they never say coast of Philadelphia. I have some oceanfront property to sell those people. Thank y'all so much for listening to us. Don't miss tomorrow's show. We have reporter Ivana Harinkyu, who's going to join us to talk about a couple of big death penalty cases, why the governor commuted one man's sentence, and a growing outcry over another. We'll be back here in the morning. Until then, as always, come by and see what we're doing anytime you want to on the World Wide Web at al.com.